Going to see my buddy Dan Green. So Dano, we have Dan Green here. It's a good buddy of mine, one of the Frankenfucks, group of comedians we run around town with here in Los Angeles, California. Thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear a little bit more about yourself. You know, where you're from, a little bit about your background, let everyone know.
Thanks, Chris. Good to be on your new YouTube channel, mate. It's awesome.
Thanks.
I come from Australia. I was born in Australia.
Couldn't tell.
No, I couldn't tell, mate. No. Raised out in the bush, raised in a town with 31 people in it, and then moved to a bigger town with 6,000 people in it. So yeah, I came out to America. I spent 6 years in the army, and then came out to America in 2001 to play professional rugby.
Professional rugby.
Professional rugby.
We have a professional rugby.
Semi-professional rugby. Let's call it what it was. It was semi-professional at the time. But yeah,
dude, I need to put a clip up. Or do you have that photo? Can I put the photo of your busted face?
Busted nose? Yeah, you can put that.
I gotta put that on. You guys gotta see this.
Yeah, I broke my nose 14 times playing rugby.
Damn.
And all sorts of other things. But I ended up loving Houston, Texas. I came out there to play, and I spent 17 years in Houston, Texas. A lot of it in the nightclub business and some other ancillary jobs. Worked as an off-the-books fixer for a few people. It worked out really cool.
He is a new comedian in the LA area I want to support. He's one of the Frankenfucks. He's a good dude. And part of this journey is meeting a lot of people. And he's one of the guys I've met that he's hustling. Like, he's hustling hard. Dan, the other day I heard you mention the verbal gym. I've never heard that term before, and
no one has.
I love it.
No one
tell
has.
me a little bit about the verbal gym.
The verbal gym is a stand-up workout room. Generally something that you pay to go to. Most of the gyms, I call them gyms already. Most of these rooms are like the fourth wall, like your Bert's back room, paying $5 for 5 minutes of stage time. And that's where you go and work out your shit. You don't go and work out your shit in front of a booker at a comedy club. You get it done in these fourth walls. Just over 4 months now, and I've done 88 of these things.
88.
And I mean, 88 is a lot, but I also came out here with on a mission basically to knock this thing out as quick as I can.
Have you seen a lot of personal improvement from the first time you started going to open mics to now?
Yes, definitely. You've seen the same thing. I mean, my first Bert's back room, I was wobbling all over the place and walking all over the stage, standing behind the mic stand, every bad thing you can possibly do. I was doing that. With the open mics, it just gives you a lot more confidence. Now, I think you made the point in your last video. You're not going to get laughs at an open mic. Comics won't give you that at the verbal gym. You're not going to get laughs at the verbal gym. The best you're going to get at the verbal gym is a out of somebody. You get that snigger, they're stifling that laugh because they don't want to give you the satisfaction, but you got it. And that's what you get. If you get 3 or 4 of those, like, holy shit, if you can make an open mic room laugh, you can write that shit down. That's gold. That's gold. That's the one you want. If you can get them laughing, I go to open mics at 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Because if I can get you laughing at 11 o'clock in the morning, then we've got the job done. You've constantly got to be doing these things to keep your shit working.
Yep.
I think. And the verbal gym was just something that came up. It made sense.
Yeah. I think you need to incorporate that into some of your sets or something.
Trademark that thing and turn it into t-shirts.
There you go. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Trademarked right now.
Done.
You can't take it.
Can't take it.
We will sue the crap out of you.
Yeah. I will find the shittiest lawyer in Glendale and we'll get this shit done.
As long as he just sticks with it, he puts his head down and just does the work, he's gonna go far. He's from Australia. He actually traveled here from Houston. He was in Houston for a long time, Houston, Texas. What was that moment in Houston where you're like, you know what, screw all of this, I'm going to Los Angeles, California?
About 7 months ago, I had what I thought was going to be a heart attack. Spent 4 nights in the cardio observation unit at Methodist Hospital there in Houston. I got told I had a clean bill of health at the end of it, but it was terrifying for the time I had it. Sitting in a room where you have to sign a waiver of what to do, of whether or not you're to be resuscitated if you die, is interesting. And it definitely changes the ways of doing things. And I was working 4 jobs and basically decided, well, okay, I'm not getting anywhere working 4 jobs. Let's go out and try and do something that people have suggested for years that I should do. Took the plunge. I'm finally doing something I love.
Mad respect for someone who just like drops everything and travels across the country and says, I'm gonna give it a go. He's been out here struggling for several months, living in his car of all places, because living in LA is rough. It's hard to make enough money to pay for the apartment. It really is. So I know the dude's been struggling. I feel you, brother. It was tough when I moved out here to LA too. So Dan, tell us about your living situation. I would love to hear more about that. Just elaborate on the living situation.
I had a place to stay the first couple of weeks I was out here.
Okay.
And then I had another place I was able to crash. I was kind of couch surfing until I found my feet out here. Basically making sure that I'd made the right decision to come out here, which meant slamming into that verbal gym hard to see if, okay, let's see if I'm actually any good at this. Then my accommodation kind of fell apart a little bit. So now I am living in my Ford Explorer studio. I think I'm on about day 93.
3 months. 3 months of living in your car.
I'm holding out for what I hope is going to be a place to live very close to where I work. This city's all about location. I mean, there's no point to work an hour from where I work. You just eat your day up doing traffic. I mean, if I want to do what I'm trying to do, I need to be this.
You need to be in the heart of it.
The heart of it as well as I am. I got real lucky with my job. I picked up the front door job at the Laugh Factory 5 days after I got to LA. GC Clavigo was the one who hooked me up with that, and Jay Davis. That was a great little head up there. I'm really happy about that.
That's great, dude.
Yeah.
I moved to California almost 20 years ago.
Yep.
And I came out here on a Greyhound bus, $400 in my pocket, 2 duffel bags of clothes. Didn't know anyone west of Texas. Screw it. I'm gonna make it big. I'm still here. LA is a very, very expensive town. At the time, me personally, like I was able to find my way into a hostel in Hollywood. The owner was this old Greek guy, and he didn't want Americans in the hostel. The guy that I met on the bus was from Chile, and he spoke for me and said, we're traveling together.
We're both Chilean. You're Chilean.
He basically said, he's American, but we're friends and we're traveling.
Right.
And so I paid for a week, and again, I had hardly any money, so I could pay for a week. And at the end of the week, I begged this guy for 2 days, like, let me work for you and give me a bed. And he kept telling me piss off. And then the second day I was asking him, I asked him probably 7 times. I kept bumping into him, and I asked him 7 times for a bed and a job. And he said, will you shut the f*** up if I give you a job and a bed? And I said, yes. And so I did 2 years and a month I was in a hostel, 3 hours a day, paid for my bed. And that's how I was able to stay here. But there were times where he wanted to fire me, or like there was always like drama. I mean, imagine 20 kids working in a hostel. There's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of chaos and drama, and there was several times he wanted to fire me, so I thought I was going to be homeless and struggling.
Well, I'm in the back of the car on a CPAP machine as well, and I'm wearing a suit 4 nights a week.
That's crazy, dude.
So I wear a suit 4 nights a week, live in my car, and I sleep on a CPAP machine. It's all right. I mean, like I said, I was an ex-military guy. If I'm not sleeping on the side of a hill in the rain, then I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to handle that kind of thing. It's all part of the bigger picture. It's all part of where this is what I have to put myself through to succeed at this other thing over here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm out here to do.
Is there any other comics or people that can relate to your situation?
There's a whole bunch. I'm actually working on a podcast right now. Working on getting off the ground, where I'm interviewing comics who have been in my situation before. People who've lived in their vehicle and risen from that struggle. Now they're succeeding.
I think Tiffany Haddish was.
Tiffany Haddish lived in a car. There are a bunch of people who live in their car. Leno lived on the back steps of in the Comedy Store for 6 months when he was out here. And all these people have persevered through this. And what it does send is it sends a great message to people who want to get through comedy. It also sends a great message to people who have experienced depression, homelessness, that kind of thing, that you can drag yourself up. This hopefully will give some people some hope and be funny as well, because they're going to be interviewed in my house.
Yeah.
Which is essentially where the front seat of my car. Thank God I didn't buy a fucking Mini. This would be a lot shorter right now. I think I'd have probably tapped out by now if I had a Mini.
He is doing a show tonight at Flappers in Burbank, California, which is actually one of the bigger comedy clubs. I'm really proud of you, brother. You have to book clubs at Flappers, you have to go through an audition process. It's essentially an audition night. They have on Wednesdays. I haven't done it yet, and that's one of the things that's on the docket for me. But he's done it. Another buddy, Nick Ennie, another one of our Frankenfucks, he did it as well. And they both have started booking shows since at Flappers. And I'm very proud of these guys. Dan, I'm very proud of you, dude. So Dan, recently you did a show at Flappers, which I had the pleasure of seeing. It was
my
fantastic.
It's great over it.
How did you feel about it, and what do you think you might be able to improve on after doing a show like that?
It's all editing. That's why I keep getting told by people, editing. I tell a lot of stories with my jokes. You've got to make sure there's a joke there's a laugh every 20 seconds in those jokes. Because otherwise, if you start telling the 90 seconds or 2 minutes of build-up for one laugh, you've used half your set for one fucking laugh. Yeah, that's all people care about is did they laugh? They're not coming here to learn a lesson off me or walk away inspired. They're here to giggle, so I got to give them that, and that's what I've started to do is making sure that okay, is there a joke every 20 seconds in the story I'm telling? Right, and that's something I've got to work on.
Are you timing it, or are you like really?
I'm definitely putting some work. That's what those verbal gym days are about.
Yeah,
is sitting down and doing that same set a couple of times. But I've realised as well, I've got to keep up with current events as well because you get so much material in what people are doing all over the world, and I think our audience respects it a lot more if you're talking about something that happened yesterday. They're like, this bloke can think on the fly. Bang, 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 bang. When you fuck up a joke,
yeah,
and that deer in headlights look like, oh shit, that was my big one, and no one laughed. Now I've just got like 4 other jokes which suck worse than that did, and you're like, now I'm stuck with this shit to finish off. But you've got to own it and go, right, you know, well, I meant for you to hate that fucking joke, because you're really going to hate this fucking joke next, because it's worse than that joke. Yeah. Get on it and embrace your bomb. Yeah. And people will come along with you on that.
I've been up since 3:15 this morning, 3:30 this morning. I was working on set. I'm working here in Hollywood. I was working on set all day on a movie. Got to work a little after 4 o'clock this morning. Got off closer to 5 o'clock this evening. Went home, gave the kids a kiss, had a quick bite, took a quick shower. Definitely needed that. Now headed over to Flappers here in Burbank, California. Super excited to see my mate and support him on his journey.
Anybody been skydiving here before? Yep. Skydiving. Yeah, I can tell you've been skydiving, so you look like the kind of person to do that. I got offered to go skydiving again the other day, and I still got PTSD from the first time I did it, so I can't do it anymore. First time I did it, I was back in Australia, and I got given a free skydive from the SAS. We were playing bad guys for him when I was in the army. Now, what made me a little bit trepidatious was that the guy who packs the parachutes got shot in the ear with a rubber bullet 2 days earlier, which is exactly the same as getting shot in the ear with a real bullet 2 days earlier. So he's out. Now I got a guy named Dave who just graduated parachute packing school. He's been in the joint a week. He's packing the parachutes. I've seen Dave around all week, and he ain't doing shit. But now suddenly he's being thrust in like the starting pitcher into this thing, so now he's packing shits for everybody. Okay? So now I go, okay, do I get a uniform? And they go, no, just jump up and watch her in, mate. I'm wearing short shorts, I'm wearing short rugby shorts, flip-flops and a tank top. They say, leave your flip-flops on the ground, they're not going to make it, buddy. So I get up there and I get strapped up with this huge SAS sergeant, big guy, okay? Huge bloke, he's attached to my back. He says, how much do you weigh, son? I said, about 240 pounds, sir. And he goes, so do I. We're going to f***ing plummet. This is going to be awesome. So we're going to be down before everybody. So I got this mammoth attached to my back. I said, Jesus Christ. I said, can we get this thing done? We get up 15,000. We jump out of the plane. The problem is, the sergeant doesn't know what I know. I was freeballing in those rugby shorts. I was going commando, literally. And I had to make a decision when I put the chute on where I was going to tuck my junk, and I went with the meat and 2 veg approach over here. So I've gone with meat and 2 veg jumping out of an aircraft. As soon as I jumped out of the aircraft, my balls developed a mind of their own and just went whoop, and sucked themselves straight to the outside of my thigh. So now my nuts are getting sandblasted at terminal velocity for the next 45 seconds. I'm in pain, and I'm yelling out, my nuts, my nuts, my nuts. And all I can hear behind me goes, yeah, it's f***ing crazy. I get down, I'm like, thank God we popped the chute. I'm like, thank fuck, my nuts don't hurt anymore. I'm finally going to be able to tuck these bad boys in and relax. I said, that's what I'm looking for. Just let me relax. Let me relax. I got to reach down, I can't touch them. I'm 2 inches short. Because of the strap, I can't reach my arm down. I'm thinking, how bad can it get? Then as we float nice and quietly down to the football field, where 600 school kids have to watch us land, my big battered red nuts are hanging out there like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as we coast into the bottom. And it's just earmuffs, it's hidden eyes for everybody, folks.
Dan Green, we're going to be following. You'll see him throughout the year in different videos. Dan, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Dan Green Comedy, and you can find my videos on YouTube. The same thing, Dan Green Comedy.
Also, top comment on this video will get featured in my next video. If you haven't already, sub the channel, right? Also, where I wanted to ask you about the fires there are insane. There's been like 1 billion animals that have died already. It's so sad. Where can people donate if they want to donate?
If they want to donate, the best charity I can suggest right now is a charity called Wires. Wires will take care of all the rehabilitation and rescue of animals. The biggest problem right now is there's no habitat. Because it all got burnt out. Wires have to create artificial habitats and stuff like that. A lot of money included, a lot of money involved in that. It's a fantastic organisation. It's been around since I was a little fellow myself. They used to always foster out kangaroos and stuff like that.
We'll put a link below too for you guys to check that out. Please go donate and help. That being said, guys,
anyway,
thank you.
That's already be a downer.
A little downer, but okay. I just wanted to make sure we got to put a link down there for that. So Dan, thank you so much for being on this show, and I'm excited to see his journey, where he goes from here. Out of everyone I've met so far in LA, he's probably one of the harder workers. And I'm really feeding off everyone's energy. I work better in groups and working.
Yeah.
I'm not a very big solo artist type. And what I've definitely learned from you and other people is just how we can be creative together and grow together and just feed off of everyone's positive energy.
Definitely a fan of the group concept when it comes to comedy.
Guys, thank you so much. Stay tuned for next week's video, and we will see you on the YouTubes. All right, y'all. Talk to you soon.
First week in September.
You got 80 open mics?
89.
89?
Don't shortchange me those 9 shitty ones. I'll tell you right now, you gotta sit in those rooms.